What moments live rent-free in your head from Ear Biscuits? And let's start with Alexander.
Congratulations on 300 episodes, guys. I've listened to every single one. And the one Ear Biscuit moment that just truly lives rent-free in my mind is when the Battleship guy was narrating you guys eating imaginary s'mores. I think of it all the time, and just a big old hunk of chocolate. Congratulations, guys. Keep doing what you do.
That was our buddy Dave DeAndrea, voiceover artist extraordinaire.
One of the last guests we had on the show where we went through that period where occasionally we would bring in someone that we wanted to talk to, but that wasn't necessarily famous. It was just more of subject matter based stuff. And as a voiceover artist, I mean, we didn't know we were gonna start asking him to like, to spitball and start doing impromptu VOs for us, but I just remember how much fun we had. And it's cool to know that like, it's cool to create stuff that people are just going about their everyday lives and they just remember, stuff is just triggered.
Well, he was the voice of Battleship.
Yeah.
When did we play or listen to, was that on GMM?
I feel like it was a Good Mythical More thing.
And we were like making a big deal about the voice and then we tracked him down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it turns out he was much more than just the voice of the Battleship.
Yeah, he was the voice of us eating s'mores.
Right, which I do not remember the specifics.
I didn't remember the actual s'more thing. Stuff that we forget, people, it gets stuck in people's brains.
Yeah.
And they're not even charging us for it.
How about Nia?
Hello, Ear Biscuiteers. The Ear Biscuits moment that lives in my head rent-free is Link's discussion about sorting mail. Because it do be like that sometimes. You gotta go through the laborious task of sorting through all the junk mail to reach that one niche envelope that really gets you going. But it just ends up being a $5 rebate check. Hey, it's better than nothing.
I'm really trying to follow this analogy. So in that analogy of sorting the mail.
Yeah, I think this have to go into Sextober. Are
the different pieces of mail different things that you could do with one partner? Or are they
that's how
multiple partners? I mean, I'm not trying to make any assumptions.
I took it that it was like different practices that then you found the right one. You found the right piece of mail.
But then it turns out to be a $5 rebate, and so you thought that you were getting something special.
The analogy's fun.
Yes,
but it can be stretched, I mean, we've gone from me like speaking in code and trying to come up with, but I mean, that is something that Christy and I would do. And it is something that we can talk about in Sextober. It's like, how do you talk about sex in your own house with other people around, children or otherwise? But yeah, we've gone from like speaking in code and that being like a shocking, this is what they're talking about now, to us doing it for 4 weeks in a row.
But I also think that we've potentially ruined actually sorting the mail, like literally sorting the mail for many people. Like you just,
I love it.
You want to go to your mailbox. You want to see if you've got, if there's any checks in the mail,
and you want to get coupons, horny.
and now all you can do is think about Link in his bedroom. So on his behalf, I apologize to you if we have ruined that for you.
It all runs together for me because is sorting the mail the same story as when we were locked in the bedroom? Locked in our own bedroom? I think it was. I think that's how I told the story.
I transfer whatever it is that we said and did in an episode to the internet mind.
Right.
It leaves my own mind because I did it, I was here, now it's on the internet, it's available.
Yeah, I got more room.
Why does it need to be in my mind anymore?
Yeah.
This is how I think about Good Mythical Morning. When people start asking questions about something we ate, I'm just like, it is just a huge blur, not even a very detailed blur.
Let's go to Karina.
The Ear Biscuit moment that lives rent-free in my head is Rhett talking about watching trashy reality TV for 7 hours.
Yeah, you were on quite a tear
now,
there.
Did I talk about it for 7 hours or did I talk about watching it for 7 hours? I don't think I talked about it for 7 hours.
In my memory, it was both. I've
definitely watched a lot of, at least 7 hours worth of trashy reality TV.
You're giving people all types
and
of
I hope, listen.
permission to just love that crap.
Well, they didn't need my permission.
Nope.
I think
But they got it.
What I've done is I've connected with the millions, hundreds of millions of people out there who unashamedly watch reality television, trashy reality television. And I told you this, so we're a big fan of John Wilson, How To with John Wilson on HBO, which probably was a wreck at some point on this show. And super innovative documentary series, very quirky, very funny, very real and raw. He was a guest on Conan O'Brien's podcast, Conan Needs a Friend. And just somewhere in the middle of the conversation, like Conan was asking him what he enjoys, like what kind of entertainment he enjoys. And of course you got this, like, what is the word? The auteur. You got somebody like him and you're like, well, whatever this guy likes is gonna be this thing that's refined. And he was like, well, I'm a big part of Bachelor Nation. And he goes on to talk about how much he likes The Bachelor. And I think he may have talked about Too Hot to Handle. He talked about trashy reality TV.
I mean,
and explained why he liked it. And I was like, that's exactly why I like it.
You can start a commentary channel.
Well, that's been done.
That's kind of a big fuel for the commentary fire across YouTube anyway. Mason or Maison, if that's the French pronunciation.
The Ear Biscuits moment that lives in my head rent-free is the time that Link was telling a story about him and Rhett were in the car on the way somewhere, and the guy next to them at the stoplight got out of his car to get something out of the trunk, and Link was like, I have a great idea. I'm gonna play a little prank on this random man. I'm gonna get into the driver's seat of his car. And Rhett responded like it was a little zany, but to me it was insane. But maybe Rhett is just used to this. I peed my pants.
Did you actually do it or did you say you were gonna do it?
Again, I don't remember the specifics. I don't think I actually got in the driver's seat, but if that's how I told the story, I need to stand by it.
I think I would remember if you actually went through with it.
I remember you reacting as if it was a bit zany.
Just a little bit zany, nothing too serious.
Amy weighed in.
The Ear Biscuits moment that lives in my head rent-free has got to be when the lighting fell down. The crew quickly rushed in to clean up. Rhett's completely gone off camera and Link is singing Everything is Awesome into the microphone and also trying to explain what happened. Pretty funny.
and I think Kiko thought he might get fired after that.
Because it was one of these things, right? It was one of these circular, spherical light fixtures that fell.
I'm just like, finally, good content.
Yeah, and
something happened.
And I was like, I'm gonna go and
there was
the bathroom.
There was a spill happening, and I mean, a number of people responded about that particular moment. It really lives in people's heads because it was I guess it was such an outlier to what normally happens on the show, and the fact that we just kind of went with it and kept it in there. People love that, and that's why I was like, yes, this is great. People are gonna remember this forever.
But the thing you have to be careful of is then you can't engineer the light falling down next time. Some people are not above that.
Whoop, the light, see, like that?
Right, yeah.
It would have seemed a little planned.
Yeah.
Crystal.
The Ear Biscuits moment that lives in my head rent-free is when Rhett was telling his story about his family trip to Scotland. And then at the very end, he says, well, turns out we're Irish.
That was a great moment.
That lives in my head. That's one I haven't forgotten, that I kind of remember pretty regularly with a little bit of shame.
Yeah, but as an ear
Not
biscuit.
that I'm ashamed to be Irish.
I remember it as an ear biscuit moment because I knew it was coming, but then when you hit us with it, it was just like, talk about burying the lead. It was just perfect. That just felt good.
And that's one of those things that has, recently spending time with my family, the McLaughlins up in the mountains, when I was in North Carolina a while back. We was the same group that had gone to Scotland together. Yeah. And so they're not really letting me live that down, and also kind of holding me to this idea that we now have to go to Ireland.
It's a running joke.
Yeah, so mom can break her other ankle.
Who's pushing that trip the most? And because someone really wants to go to Ireland. Your dad?
My dad definitely mentions it more than anyone.
It's hilarious, man.
I mean, I think we gotta make it happen.
I mean, if we were like to talk about the top 10 funniest moments of the show, which maybe at 500 episodes,
okay,
that's what we can do. That would definitely be on it. Like the biggest laughs from us. Anna.
The Ear Biscuits moment that lives in my head rent free is it's not that I'm stupid, it's that I can suspend my intelligence.
That's
I'm
right.
guessing that you said that.
You don't remember when I said that?
yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, I mean it was a personal realization that I had in conversation with Lando and then with Lily. I remember trying to figure out how they perceived the internet me versus the real life dad me. And I just I gleaned that piece of wisdom that made me feel better about who I experienced freedom through this phrase even now. Because it's like I can be as stupid as I want and say, you know what? I don't care if people think I'm stupid. I'm in control of it.
Right.
That may not be completely true, but that's the narrative that I'm now putting out into the world.
I think that's a good story to tell yourself.